afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Once again, welcome, guys, to St. Kitts. My name is Nigel. I'm going to be your guide this afternoon on the sharp but beautiful tour of this little island of St. Kitts. And in St. Kitts, neither pilots or co-pilots are paid very well. I need to make sure that my boss isn't around. But you do have just about the best seat in the house. Let's go, guys. Let's get this party started right. This is St. Christopher. This island was so named by Christopher Columbus when he discovered it in November of 1493. Now he must have loved this island because this is the only island he named after himself or his patron saint, St. Christopher. St. Kitts is actually a nickname given to the island as it is the British shortened form of the name St. Christopher. And for just about 100 years, it was our island's treasury department. So, also found inside that area was our customs and immigration. So for about 100 years, everything that came into St. Kitts legally came through KFC. Now, the building itself is only 20 years old, so it can be called a historic site. But everybody loves a little KFC. Now, could somebody help me and tell me what does KFC mean?
Kentucky Fried Chicken.
No, don't.
No, that's not what they said.
I told you. It's for kids.
They said it means Kittitians forget cooking. And we do. Now, folks, we're here at the first example of a foreign site, which is Bastille. Now, Bastille is an example of a foreign place in St. Kitts because St. Kitts was colonized by the English and the French. It is here at Bastille where a gentleman by the name of Belaine Desnambeau first came to St. Kitts and colonized this island in 1625. It is now the economic hub of this island, housing approximately 10,000 of our residents here on the island. As we make this left turn, we'll be going into a street called Fort Street. Now, Fort Street is so called because over on the right, where Royal Bank of Canada now stands, actually used to be a fort. So this was called Fort Street. Directly ahead of us, the area is called the Circus. Now, it is said to be a partial miniature replica of the Piccadilly Circus found in England. In the middle of that circus is the Buckland Memorial. The Buckland Memorial is a memorial built in honor of a Mr. Thomas Berkeley, who was a wealthy English planter here on the island, who was well loved by the locals. So this was built in his honor in 1883. Now as we make the turn here, do you guys feel like you're in England yet?
No.
No.
A little English telephone booth, guys.
Yeah, the telephone booth.
Now that is about the most unique telephone booth you'll ever come across. To make a phone call from there, you have to walk with your own phone. Now we made a right turn into a street called Bank Street. Bank Street is said to be a replica of a square, again, found in England. It is said that if you were to have an aerial view that is looking down on the square, the concreted walkways would remind you of the markings of the Union Jack flag. Over on our right hand side, these stone structures you can see all the way through. Now those holes with those shrubbery are going through are actually ventilation shafts. Beneath there were dungeons. That is where the slaves would have been kept. These slaves would have been fattened up, nicely cleaned and polished up, and taken over to the Pall Mall Square where they would be sold or traded. Ahead of us, the grey building is about the most serious building in the whole island. Our courthouse, Lee and Moore Judicial Complex. Now in 1982, there was a mysterious fire which completely destroyed the wooden structure which stood here for over 100 years. Up to now, it is still uncertain as to the origins of that fire. But this modern concrete edifice was built as a perfect replica of the wooden structure which stood there. Here's a little quiz for you guys. On our right hand side we have the Cathedral of Immaculate Conception. I bet you guys can say that 3 times fast.
You got that right.
Cathedral of Immaculate Conception. Now this is a Catholic church. It is by no means the oldest Catholic church on the island, but it is by far the largest and the most beautiful. It was started construction in 1928 and is beautiful with all its intricate stoneworks and woodworks inside.
Yeah.
On the right hand side, the tall stone structure is our police headquarters, the Bastille police station. That's where justice is served.
Oh, see,
Yeah.
I thought the
Continuing on the right hand side, we have these red doors. This is the first of many hotels you're going to see as we travel along. Now this hotel you primarily do not want to stay at because no reservations required, no air conditioning, no room service. Now inside this church is said to be the oldest pipe organ in the Caribbean. Now this church is also a church with a little bit of a dilemma in its history because it was actually built the St. George's Catholic Church. It was destroyed in a skirmish between the English and the French, and when it was rebuilt, St. Kitts, on the other hand, 68 square miles with approximately 50,000 residents.
Wow.
Sorry, 50,001. Baby was born on Tuesday. Now, over on our left hand side, we have a bus terminal. Now this is where a person can get a public service vehicle which takes you to just about any point on this island. Now just beyond the roofs, you can see the top of a vessel right there. Now that is one of the ferries which takes us across to the sister island of Nevis. This is a 45-minute trip costing approximately $8 per person per direction. A trip well worthwhile taking once you have the time.
Oh, that's interesting.
How often do they run?
Primarily from 8 o'clock up to 10 o'clock in mornings, only half an hour, and then from there on an hourly schedule. Sorry, by schedule, and then from 4 o'clock onward on a half hourly schedule also. Over on our right hand side, we have the public market. This is where the vendors will go normally to sell their locally grown produce.
Sand beaches, yeah.
Yeah. And the water's like the
Now on our left hand side we have the first of many beaches that we're going to see as we travel along. Now this beach in itself is one of the unique features of this island. Now what is so unique about Black Sand Beach on a volcanic island? Well, the unique feature is the fact that we have both black sand and gold sand beaches. Yes we do. We got variety, the spice of life. memorial built in honor of our soldiers who fought during World War I and World War II. Now the question comes to mind, why would a 68 square mile island fight in World War I or World War II?
That's a good question.
Now the fact is that we were a British colony. As a matter of fact, we were the first British colony in the whole of the Caribbean. So we fought on behalf of our Queen. Famous in the Caribbean. Now guys, unfortunately I cannot offer you a tour there. A few years back I did a tour there and they've never allowed me back inside. I don't know why. I don't know. But in St. Kitts we have a serious degree of national pride. So what we do is that we try to drink as many beers as we possibly can to make certain that the persons can keep their jobs in there. So please help us support the local economy. Now over on our right we have the Caribbean Cinemas. Now the Caribbean Cinemas is a multiplex cinema. In other words guys, there's 7 movie screens in there. Now to give you an example of how much we are...
Oh yeah, look at that, the white turtles. They're like our egrets.
Now these birds are called the white egrets.
I'd like there are egrets.
Oh, look at them.
Yeah.
Now the white egrets
Sorry?
They all fly south.
are not native to our island, but can be seen all over the Caribbean. But guys, let me give you an idea of these birds. Now, I'm pretty certain that many a time you may have heard the slang bird brain. You guys know what bird brain means, right?
Right.
Someone who isn't very smart. But here's something about these birds, guys.
They're very
These
smart.
birds lay their nests, put their nest on the branch of a tree that looks like this. Now, these branches are called the acacia, or locally we call them the kasha tree. Now, these birds make their nest there because neither predators or rodents can get to their nests or their eggs. Now, those birds are smart, aren't they?
Yes.
So that means that our educational system in St. Kitts is second to none. Even our birds are smart. I'm holding up here our national flag. Now this flag was adopted on the 19th of September 1983. Let me tell you of the colors of this flag. Now on 19th of September 1983 is when this island became the smallest and proudest little nation in the Western Hemisphere, because we are the smallest independent nation in the Western Hemisphere. Let me tell you of the colors of this flag. The green, our fertile land. The yellow, our sunshine. The black, our African heritage. The 2 white stars stand for hope and liberty, and the red stands for our struggles from colonialism to independence. Those are the colors of our national flag, guys.
St. Kitts is not part of the United States.
Trust me, what impresses me is if you look down to your right. Could you guys use your imagination for a moment? Imagine what that view would look like 100 feet higher. Oh, that is good.
Yeah, that's right.
Now
That's
this
right.
property is selling for only $400,000 on average. I'm gonna be sending back a clipboard where you guys can put your name information and you can even submit your check.
Okay.
No, no takers.
How much lane?
2%.
Now St. Kitts was colonized by the English and the French. And
Amazing. Look at that.
Yeah.
the French I spoken of earlier. Now let me tell you about the English. Here's a look at the properties again, guys.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
Beautiful.
They are beautiful, I
There
think.
you are.
And like I said, we actually used to do a tour that actually took us up there, but because of the high stakes persons who live up there, we have the justice, that is the judge who is in charge of the whole Caribbean justice system, living there. We have the governor of the East Caribbean Central Bank also living there, and also some high stakes lawyers from the island, local persons
All the
living up
thieves.
there. So because of that, the security has really been stiffened up, so we're no longer allowed to take a tour up into that area. But I can tell you guys, it is a beautiful sight. You can actually see the airport from there. You can see the boats down in the harbor, and it is always as if there is an air conditioner on up there, even without one.
Where's the airport?
The airport, you did wear glasses. I'm talking about foresight, because over there on the right hand side, the white chimney and what's left of the steel structure is what's left of our sugar factory. Now it may not be much now, but in 1912 it was state of the art, because one of its final byproducts was bagasse. Now that bagasse is actually used to create electricity. Now over on our right hand side, you can see the 4 stacks there. Those are part of our now modern electricity generating plant.
What fuel does it use?
Diesel. Now over on our left hand side, we have what was built in 1947 as the Golden Rock Airport. It is now, since 1983, called the Robert Llewellyn Batcher International Airport. Now this airport allows flights coming here from the US, UK and beyond. Now to give you an idea of the size of this airport, we do have flights here from British Airways 777s, and back in the day when the Concorde still flew, we had several flights here from the Concorde also. On our left hand side there, the white building with the green tops is actually what, once completed, it will become the largest privately owned mall on the island.
Oh, nice.
We're planning to introduce a tour there, but this tour is going to have a little bit of a twist in that once you get on board the bus, you'll have to hand all of your credit cards to the driver. Yeah, husbands, I know you're loving that tour.
So tourism is what percent?
In excess of 70%.
Wow.
What is that?
Tourism, 70% of
That's history and
it. That's why we had a store.
This is the resort hotels, which is actually due to be open during the first quarter of next year.
It's beautiful.
All of these should be finished by early next year. So you're going to have quite a few options for coming back next year. You have the hotel with the red doors,
Look at this.
Palm Squats, and now we have this one.
Beautiful.
What we have now.
Options, aren't they? Okay, what do you think of this view then?
Oh, gorgeous.
Oh, pretty.
Oh,
Is that a
stuff
golf
right in the
course?
land for sale.
Yeah.
Okay, folks, if you're buying this 665, 15 to lunch.
Now folks, what we're looking at here is the Atlantic Ocean coming in alongside
that's why I said it
an
looks like the
18-hole
Atlantic.
golf course.
The golf course.
It's kind of narrow.
Now outside where you can see the waves breaking is is actually a natural reef.
Mm-hmm. A lot of good scuba diving here.
Yes. Now let's not be short-sighted, guys. Let's look in the distance. The Southeastern Peninsula. And even further along is a cloud-covered mountain peak. So anybody knows where that is? Nevis. Okay. And let me tell you a little bit about Nevis. Now Nevis was also discovered by Christopher Columbus. Now when he saw that little island, he said, wow, that mountain peak is beautiful. It reminds me of the mountains of Spain. That is the snow-covered mountains of Spain. So he named that island La Nueve. La Nueve, Spanish, is for snow. So that island was called Snow. Okay, I'll tell you that in a moment.
Yeah, it's just gorgeous.
Now folks, take a look to your left.
Oh, beautiful. Look at this.
Now coming back to St. Kitts and you're going to need somewhere to stay. That's one of the options right there. The St. Kitts Marriott's.
Mm-hmm.
This is part of the Marriott hotel chains. So you have options of staying near, whether in a hotel room or in villas available for your comfort.
Ah. Very nice. That's no hotel, isn't it, the Marriott?
We are on the eastern tip of the island.
Uh-huh.
The question is where we are geographically. We are on the eastern tip of the island.
It seems like a wealthy part of the island, am I correct?
It is actually the wealthiest part of the island. It is where you'll find most expats and the well-to-do locals residing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see that.
You can see it.
Yeah. That's a tin roof. This is a nice part of the island.
name it. It's all different right here. Now, a group of us young fellas who have some serious national pride have devised a little plan. Every Friday evening, we come all over here and we go through each one of these bars and we back check the temperature of the beers that are being sold.
Oh, here's the beach.
Now, I know, guys, it's a tough job, but somebody's got to do it.
Yeah, beach chairs.
Now, on the serious note, guys, this is Frigate Bay. This is about the most famous beach locally. Now, here's where the locals come because it's about the easiest spot for you to get transportation back to the island's capital. It also offers you a pretty good chance of swimming, diving, snorkeling, and just about any water sport activity you can think of. All of it is available right here. And it's a 10-minute ride by taxi, costing just about $3 to $4 per person per direction.
This is
That-
like where we
The
were
big
at.
boat that's anchored out at sea, what is that a cruise ship? What is that?
It's actually a boat that is hosting students. Dominica has also another branch of the Ross University School of Veterinary Medicine, which was destroyed by hurricane recently.
Right.
So those students have been housed right here and are allowed to use the, excuse me, to use the campus equipment here. On the left we have the Honorable Sir K. Dwight Venner Building. This is the headquarters of the East Caribbean Central Bank. Now, East Caribbean Central Bank is a bank which controls and monitors our local currency. That currency is the EC dollar. It's valued at approximately $2.67 to every US dollar. Have you guys ever seen the EC dollar?
Yes.
You're doing better than I have. Can you pass this around, please?